Very. Well, I have one question to ask. What is the active thing we do in our life apart from sleeping most? Eating and sleeping. Well, if you calculate, we work hard because we just love to work. And in most of the cases, work is not done without traveling. Commute. In the morning, in the evening, in the night. And for many of us, commute is a big part of life. Dear Toastmaster, you must have heard this popular saying about life that it's not destination but journey which is important. In the same lines for a commuter, you can say it's not journey but what happens in between that is important. The raunchy roads, traumatic traffic, the commuters with not so good common sense. They, when inside a car, they think themselves of Michael Schumacher. When on bikes, they think themselves as Rossi. And when on road, they think themselves as Usain Bolt. And they are racing against each other every time just to come in front of others. Well, all this makes the normal person's life hell on the road. Apart from this, the last but not least in Bangalore, the roads dominated by ducks and diversion. By seeing at them, you can easily assume that BDA is doing nothing but just digging up roads here and there all day and night. And sometimes I suspect that BDA stands for Bangalore Digging Agency or Bangalore Development Authority. I even suspect that these hotshot at BDA somehow think secretively that someday by digging up these roads they will be able to expand them. But someone needs to tell them that road doesn't expand this way. Well, some of my friends here have mentioned that they went to a trip to Ladakh for barren dusty roads, for treacherous terrain and for, when suddenly a big speeding truck comes in your way on a sharp curve and you do a narrow escape, that headline feeling, well, I would say, why go that far? We have all those feelings here. If you travel on 27 main road in HSR layout, or if you take a drive from Belandu to Marathali, you can have all that ups and downs of Leh-Manali highway in one drive. Well, there are many other horror stories, but I will tell you mine. My story started some 6 or 8 months back when we rented this new office space for our new opened office. And it was, we finalized Marathali because going by the fact that outer ring road is wide, double lane and mostly traffic free at non-peak hours. Well, what I failed to consider is BDA might be trying to expand that road. And that's where the trauma began. Well, on the first day I started early. I started late at the favorable time, 11 a.m. And I thought there would be very less traffic. But as soon as I hit the outer ring road, there was this never-ending queue of traffic. One-wheeler, two-wheeler, 3, 4, 5, 6, it might be 7, 8, 9, 10, and no-wheeler, everybody was there. And it took me creeping 1 hour to reach office. Next day I told myself it's time to strategize. So I started very early, 8 a.m. Again one trolley. Well, then I thought it's time to experiment with time. So I experimented with time, 7 a.m., 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 in the morning, and while coming back, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. Well, then I thought I need to have some out-of-box solution. Public transport. I thought travel will be hassle-free and I can utilize that time for other activity. For knowledge gaining or something. But sometimes idea misfire, and in my case it backfired heavily. This out-of-box idea of mine kept me out of bus most of the time. Then I thought that why not cycle to work? But after trying for 2 or 3 weeks, I understood that this idea of mine will keep me out of road for the rest of my life. Well, after trying hard, after trying all options under my belt, for some time I came back to my old days and ways, crawling and keeping. But friends, something happened last week. While coming back from my office, I suddenly felt on roads that somehow roads are wider. They are more shiny. There is more space. And instead of dark diversion barricades, there is this new down pathway. And surprisingly, it took me only 20 minutes to reach home that day. But all my fury went into fumes. Well, this whole epic incident taught me one thing, that you just can't fight traffic. Because it's a whole unpredictable beast every other day. Only way to handle it, you need to show a very high patience with this slow movie.